Rumors are that allegedly Drew's family is desperately begging her to leave Ralph. Will she do it? And what is it that Ralph is doing that's keeping her there? I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk? And welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified, so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. Alright, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about. And it centers around rumors that allegedly Drew's family is desperately begging her to leave Ralph. Will she do it? And what exactly is it that Ralph is doing to keep her there? Well, I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more. And here it goes. Kinfolk, let me read to you what my sources are saying about this particular rumor. Rumors are that allegedly Drew's family is begging the reality star to leave her husband Ralph. Sources say that allegedly Drew's family has been shocked for quite some time regarding Ralph's treatment of Drew. Allegedly, family members knew that the couple were experiencing marital issues, but they were horrified to see on air last year just how horrible things had turned for the two. Allegedly, one insider close to the situation said that more than anything, it's the harsh and the demeaning language Ralph uses towards Drew that upsets her family the most. His language towards her is shocking. That is so shocking that allegedly it even leaves some of her relatives in tears, continued the source. Their hearts absolutely break for Drew when they're seeing her constantly being belittled. So, many are wondering, will Drew leave Ralph? Well, sources say it's unlikely for 3 reasons. Reason 1, an insider says that Drew is drastically dependent on Ralph. Ralph's business brings in a sizable income that affords Drew the freedom to not have to work outside of Real Housewives of Atlanta. It has become easy for her to live comfortably off the millions of dollars that Ralph's bring in each year from his business. Sources also believe that this may be the reason why she puts up with so much of his verbal abuse. The second reason why sources are speculating that Drew probably won't leave is this. Sources believe Drew won't leave Ralph anytime soon because of her ego. Allegedly, some friends close to Drew warned her about marrying Ralph so early on in their relationship. Allegedly, Drew did not heed their advice and jumped in head first. So, leaving Ralph will prove her friends were correct about their assumptions on Ralph and his behavior in their relationship. And the last reason why Drew most likely won't leave Ralph is because of this other thing. Industry insiders point out that Ralph is Drew's main storyline on Real Housewives of Atlanta. He keeps her interesting and constantly trending on social media on Sunday nights. Drew allegedly knows that this high level of interest in their marriage may make her more valuable to the network and production. So, leaving Ralph could be a big strike against her career. Now, kinfolk, when I first saw this rumor, I, immediately thought about which parts of it could be true and which parts of it could be factual. And right off the bat, one part of this rumor that I feel like could be factual is this. Every Sunday night, seeing the way that Ralph is just completely disrespectful to Drew and the way he gaslights her, I just automatically feel like her family members and most of her friends probably feel like he is not the person for her. I would also imagine that they probably see two different Ralphs, one for the cameras and one behind the cameras. And I'm thinking it may be very hard for her family to decipher which Ralph is which. Because on the camera, the way he talks to Drew and the way he, assumingly disrespects her in their marriage a lot of the times, I think it will be very hard for a family member and friends to decipher who is the real Ralph. Is it the one we see on the day-to-day basis or every now and then? Or is the one that we're seeing on television? And the way he's so comfortable with doing what he does to Drew, I am inclined to believe that the Ralph we see on television is actually the Ralph that Drew gets behind closed doors. This is a very complicated situation and a very complicated marriage, one in which we have not seen play out on Real Housewives of Atlanta to this degree since Sheree brought her ex-husband back on the show. And I would say Cynthia and Peter, but it never got to this gaslighting level. The other part of this rumor that I think that could actually be true is this. I do believe that Drew is very dependent on Ralph. A lot of you don't know this, but from my sources are saying allegedly Ralph brings in a very, very sizable income with his business and securities. I was also told that Ralph may actually be the highest earning the highest earning husband on the show, actually, even more so than with Todd. And so knowing that, I'm more inclined to believe that sometimes when you have issues in your marriage, and I haven't been married, I'm just guessing here, that when you're living a very comfortable lifestyle and you're having issues in your marriage and your lifestyle kind of like buffers against those things, I think you may be inclined to put up with a little here in order to get a lot in other places. In this case, the financial comfortableness of their marriage, as well as having some kids. I don't think any person would be too inclined to throw in the towel unless it just got too bad. And right now, I think for Drew, it's not to the point to where she is willing to leave or is enough to make her leave. Even after the stuff that we've seen on television, I would say it's enough to leave, but we're not there in the household with them. So I do think that a part of this is that, she's very comfortable. She comes from a very religious family, and so she really does believe in the sanctity of marriage, and she might be trying to make it work. And the financial aspect of it kind of helps a little bit. The other part of this rumor that I actually can see as being factual is this. A lot of people are saying that Drew and her friends Drew's friends were telling her not to marry Ralph so quickly, and allegedly this is what pretty much Otis kind of drove her to even want to marry him so quickly, just going against the grain. Sometimes people tell you not to do something and you just end up doing it anyway, just to go against the grain. They were married very quickly, but I think for Drew, if this part of the rumor is true, I think that trying to get married and believing in someone is a big plus when you're trying to make a marriage work. And I really do believe, if you believe the rumor that her friends told her don't rush in, I do think she did not heed their advice, but she also went in at full throttle because she is someone who is committed to being married, someone who wants to be in a relationship, and I think she kind of sees it as a goal, and I think she's trying to be steadfast in achieving that goal of a happy marriage. Only thing about it is that goal of a happy marriage, it just doesn't seem like it is obtainable right now. And the last thing about this room that I do see as true is the fact that Ralph does make Drew very interesting to watch every week. Drew is a very good addition to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She definitely is someone who I think can have longevity on the show just off the strength of her marriage issues alone. Without Ralph, I think Drew's personal storyline would be quite boring. But Ralph and Drew together, they really do get social media talking every single week, whether for good or bad. And so watching them go through these struggles as a married couple, I think is appealing to some because they're saying, I want to see how a young couple deal with this. But I think to the older, more mature audience, they're watching it like, yeah, baby, I've been there, done that. This not it. So I think we have two different groups and two different generations looking at this marriage very differently. And I think that is what ultimately keeps her interesting on the show. That keeps the interest in her storyline going and keeps her constantly trending on Sunday nights on social media. But kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. If you think this rumor is true, do you think that Drew should heed her family's advice and just cut ties with Ralph? Or do you think this is a young couple, they're still early on in their marriage and they just haven't found their rhythm yet and that she shouldn't give up? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Alright, kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace.